Why should students receive a council tax exemption?
Students don't currently have council tax anyway, is that correct?
Correct.
Well, they shouldn't have council tax because they have come to Guildford specifically to study at the University of Surrey, and they shouldn't really have to pay any more extra than they already do for their tuition for university.
I think students give back to the local community in so many different ways, especially here in Guildford. Students bring such a contribution to the local economy, they bring such diversity to the area, and of course students don't have the best deal with, for instance, housing, course fees, things like that. A council tax exemption means that they can actually afford to pay their way through uni and actually come out the other end better people.
Is it time for the university to reintroduce the cap on student numbers?
Yes, I know that the current strategy is to get to 18,000 students by 2020, and I do believe this is far too many, and we need to start focusing on the students that are right here, right now.
Well, I think what the university needs to do, number one priority should be focusing on the current students. The university shouldn't be growing unless it can support the students that it has.
You say, I will support the plans for more accommodation on Manor Park and continue to engage with private developers.
Yes.
Can you give me a little detail on what you've been doing already in terms of engagement with developers, and what will you do?
Purpose-built student accommodation is so important, and I believe this is such an important role for the current president, the previous president, and the next coming president, because if the next president is to just drop everything that's been worked so hard for, that would be so silly.
So have you knocked on developers' doors before, or you'll be doing that over the next 12 months?
I haven't currently knocked on developers' doors, but it would be something that I'd want to be doing. If that's the way to engage developers, which would be a first port of call, straight away going to them, I will do it.
And in terms of involvement with the community at the moment, what's your feelings in relation to that, and how will you manage that process going forward?
Well, I think volunteering is something that's definitely to be encouraged. The union has recently looked at launching a new online platform to encourage volunteering and buying into this stuff. And so next year I'd want to see if there are opportunities to more proactively get out in the community to find volunteering opportunities.
Centre for Wellbeing, vital service to so many students. Do you know what kind of percentage currently take advantage of it?
I don't know this exact percentage, but I do know that there was a 34% increase last year, which obviously is a huge increase, and that's gone down a bit because we have extended opening hours, which have been great.
You say, I will reach out to those students who feel ignored or unrepresented by their union and commission in-depth research to learn what we can do better. How will you approach that?
Engaging with students via focus groups, get them in, speak to them and find out what it is that they want. Because without knowing what the students that are unengaged want, how can we produce that? We need to get as many students as possible to understand the benefits of the Students' Union, what we're doing for them.
How do you feel we currently get on in terms of town and gown? And what would you be focused on in terms of change?
Well, I think it's no secret that we've been critical of the council when it comes to things like housing. But my whole manifesto is about working together, whether that's working with students, working with other unions, working with, for instance, the university or the council.